such an asshole.
All right, I am confused because the request is kind of all over the place, but I'll try my best to interpret it. Dear Cappy, $100 sent for a video response if you feel like it, or if you just want a donation from a fan. If you don't, well, you pay me, I'll do it. But it's taken a lot to translate what your request is. Is criticism of the LGBTQ plus? I'm just going not straight. It's simpler. It's simpler. So much simpler. I'm an African American. I'm a Caucasian American. I'm a Latina American. How about just black and white? Less syllables. We get on with our life. I got important things to do. It'd be cool. Someone, I don't know how you'd measure it, but I wonder how many days did you waste? Like you add up all the times, hyphenated American. How many days did people add up wasting their time with all those unnecessary syllables? Like all the Marxist leftists speak, but all these unnecessary. If you add, I know they're just a fraction of a second, but they add up an entire lifetime. Would you get 2 extra days off? I just want to know. In criticism of the not straight community, he says, in criticism of the LGBTQ plus lobby, God fucking Christ, is criticism of the LGBTQ plus lobby really just the last holdout for people who want to pose as conservatives while lacking any sexual self-discipline? So before I forget, I think his thesis is that there's this big red flag, pride flag or not, but a big red flag where in the eyes of conservatives or the religious right, it's degeneracy. And they're pointing at that, clutching their pearls while they're not cleaning up their own shit at home. And I think that's his main, the simplified argument. Since the contraceptive revolution, marriage is becoming a bit of a loser's game. Nobody wants to regulate a market while it is in their favor. So people only seek commitment on a legal basis when they can't marry it on an individual basis. All right. So we got rid of, with contraception, we got rid of marriage as an effective institution. It's still there, but an effective institution. Everyone's having sex without consequences. And the only reason you'd seek out marriage is if you can't get it on a natural basis, I guess. Efforts to avoid facing this dynamic and maintain the honorable facade of legal marriage are causing the conservative press, not to mention Christian housewives' conversations, be filled with contempt for a tiny minority of transsexuals and I can't use that word, who want LGBTQ plus marriage and adoption rights. In some circles, it seems that any degenerate can pose as a radical conservative marriage material. It seems, this is where you lose me, man. In some circles, it seems that any degenerate can pose as a radically conservative marriage material simply by saying men are men and women are women. You mean it seems any degenerate can mask, presumably female, can mask themselves, pose as a radically conservative marriage, like the trad thoughts is what you're saying. Yeah, that can happen. Yeah, it does happen. I mean, the latest deal with the redhead who found Jesus. Not only you presuppose degeneracy on their part, what about financial profit and motive? Just a grifter in the truest of sense, or a griftette in the redhead's case. Academic DJs like Jordan Peterson haven't become superstars for challenging obviously insane fringes. They have become superstars for building a smokescreen discussion around a much more demographically significant cause of social decay, the normal heterosexual fornication, which goes on in normal households. Okay, so not getting married, not sticking with marriage, divorce, cheating, 48 notch count before marriage, all that other stuff. Okay, I see your point. Yeah, Jordan Peterson isn't like all those crazy gay people. He's like, make your bed. Don't be a fat pig. Get a job. Yeah, those are the the radicals. The not straight individuals occupy a tiny demographic niche of our culture, and I can't believe they would have such a loud voice if we're not for the platform that normies provide them. So let me interrupt here, and I think you're misdiagnosing the problem as to why there's a lot of pearl clutching. Um, I don't. You're not wrong. There's certainly a lot of moralizing going on, and let's take a stereotype. It can't wouldn't be a Karen because Karen wouldn't be an attractive soccer mom. Milky toast soccer. Well, Jennifer. There's a boring universal name. There's Jennifer, and she's a good wife, and she goes to church. And in her past, she had 20 dicks inside of her and might be having an affair. Doesn't really care much about her Kim. Rules for thee, not for me type. And either in a role or to maintain a facade or to hold on or lie to herself about some semblance of a moral system. Oh my goodness, Herman, the homosexuals are doing homosexual things. Wow. As a facade, or as you said, smokescreen to hide their own, what would be considered degenerate behavior in traditional terms. Not saying that's not happening. And that could be happening as well. But I don't think that's the main one. This is why I titled this "Real versus Fake Gay or Homosexual or LGBTQ." I think the main reaction, not just prudish conservative pearl clutchers and religious right types, are pointing at is they're not necessarily offended or reacting to the fact there are not straight people. What it is what I call the fake not straight people. And there's fake not filling the line of group of people here uh, because they have an ulterior motive. So much so, I claim many of these people are not the thing they claim to be. And let's just use the not straight community here. Whether you're gay, trans, but it doesn't matter. There are legitimate, normal, everyday, not straight people. I've had a fair amount of gay men as clients, not in that way. And two of which stand out in my, it was like, holy cow, I mean, these are very accomplished men. They just happen to be gay. And in consulting, I don't think I've had one consultation with a not straight person that was about their sexuality. And the reason why is because they were normal fucking people. They just happen to have a different sexual preference. Their questions were career related, maybe finance related. It wasn't about them. And then again, my best friend is gay. When I hang out with my best friend, we don't talk about his gayness. It would be as mundane and boring as talking about my brown eyes. It doesn't define me. I was born with it. It's not who I am. Same thing with my best friend. He's an intelligent, opposite, philosophical, almost opposite of me, which is kind of why we get along so well. um, and of course, yeah, it comes up in discussion. Like, what about that guy? Oh no, that's not. Oh, okay. And we'll pick on each other a little bit. Oh, are you a Republican? And we pick on each other for traits we were born with, but that's what friends do. But whether it's my friend or clients, the normal LGBTQ people, they're just normal everyday people to get on with their lives. Then there's the fake. And here we got to subdivide the second category into two further categories. Right? But they're fake in one regard. There are people that happen to have the trait. In this particular case, we're talking about not being straight. Fine, you're not straight. And then there are people who don't have the trait, meaning they're straight, but they put at the center of their lives their not straightness above all else. And it ruins their lives because you are no longer a person. You are just a trait. There's no human. There's no soul. There's no you. You're a guy and you like to suck dick. And that's your whole fucking shtick. Worse, in the two further subdivided groups are the people who are not straight. They are not gay. They're not homosexual. They're not lesbian, whatever. But they fake it because it gets them popularity. It gets them preferential treatment. It gets them attention. whatever, maybe government aid or government grants, contracts, or whatever, gives them some kind of advantage in society. But regardless of which one it is, the fact that they put their ultimate value on a trait they were born with, or in the second subcategory, faking, uh, they're hypocrites, and they're also radical. They're also ultimately parasites because instead of contributing to society and being a plumber or a HVAC guy or an accountant who just happens to be gay, they demand the rest of society honor them. It's not, it's what was it? It's not, they don't want to, they don't want acceptance, they want fealty. They want to be paid for, honored, and worshiped because they're not X, they're opposite X. It's like, well, that's fine. Go be opposite X, but you don't get no free shit for it. Oh my God, you hate X. I'm so oppressed. And thus you see the victim. And it could go with this is why I use the word traits, because that's really what it is. We do not have time to talk about race, gender, sexual preference, this and that. I'll give you another example. I've said it before. If you're a straight white male, oh, you're shit out of luck. Are you though? Why? Why, Beauregard? Do you hear that a coming, Beauregard? I do declare I hear a little bit of the social anxieties. Why I do declare I'm coming down with a touch of the tisms. Beauregard, fetch me my fainting couch, so I too may fall prey to the victimhood politics. And same thing there. There's two groups of people when it comes to mental illness: those who legitimately have it and those who are faking it. And the people who fake it do it for ulterior and evil means and reasons. They want free shit. I can't work. I need aid. My latest book, A World Without Men, just to show you intellectual honesty, I target men, us evil patriarchal bastards. The trend now, especially among younger men, is to completely abuse disability checks on the federal level. It's SSI, I think is the official term. Oh, I can't work. I can't, and it's tripled. Someone go read the book and look up the numbers. I had the data there before. Women have remained the same of the age cohort I looked. Women claiming disability has remained the same over time. Men, I think, have tripled over that same time. Because what? Oh, I have the Ritalins. Or no, that's the drug you take. I have the disease that the Ritalins is for, ADHD, right? And I'm not saying a lot of them weren't misdiagnosed or led into it because they had shitty parents or doctors just want to like, oh my God, it's the newest, latest thing. You totally got agoraphobia. You totally got the disease. Oh, nothing is your fault. So what the real big red flag is you have a group of people demanding ridiculous fucking shit and getting so caught up in their own identities, made up or real, but that's the only thing they have, that their behavior is starting to become threatening or aberrant, especially to those with traditional conservative values or just normal people. It's like, yeah, okay, drag queen story time. All right. Should I think there should be drag queens? Sure. Yeah, go ahead, man. As long as you're not bothering anyone. Could you have drag queen story time like for like high schoolers? I guess not little kids. Not little kids. Not because I'm against drag queens or not straight people, but that's not the time. These kids aren't even hitting puberty yet. The laws that had to be passed in Florida, like, no, you're not diagnosing. What was it? You can't, they still want sex education. They still make accommodations. Like, yeah, there's not straight people. If you look at the DeSantis law, it's quite reasonable. It's, I think, like, you just can't tell kids about it up until the age of 8. Like, I don't know, let kids be fucking kids. Let them not worry about this shit. That's where normal people, as well as conservatives, prudish or not, Jennifer or not. Whoa, wait a minute, what? And I think that's the majority of the reaction that you're witnessing. And so it's not your regular, not straight people. It's ideologues, fanatics, and posers inevitably that are just doing it because that's all they got. And at what point do you it's not promote. Do you again, I'm not a psychologist, I don't know, but then psychologists, you guys don't really you're not a thing and your entire field is pretty bullshit. Like it's you gotta get a higher and higher hit. Like, okay, I did this crazy zany thing, like an adrenaline junkie. Like you gotta do the if you okay, I did parkour at a one floor house being built. Now I gotta go do it on skyscrapers where it almost becomes a sickness where okay, now I gotta outdo myself. What where's the governor? I don't mean a governor of a state. Where's like a limiter, a regulator, a mechanical thing in your brain that says maybe little kids should be kids. But for whatever reason, that's the only thing they got. They gotta go. And you see it with feminists too, coming up with the most ridiculous like they I am amazed. Go you want to see where they just keep going and going and going. Go read the latest doctoral theses being submitted in women's studies department. I guess it's called gender studies now. Like, are there differences between men and women that should be studied? Sure. Is there some essence to being a woman that might require a couple college years of college study? Okay, but doctoral levels for how many? What five decades? Fuck out of here with your insane bullshit. You're loony. You're crazy. You're no longer tethered to reality. What you're doing is complete bullshit. But they don't care about that. It's free government money, academia, surprise, most feminist studies majors don't work in the real world. They can only work in the artificial adult welfare environment called academia. But that is what I think most of the people are reacting to. If you talk to a lot of conservative people, this has been going. No one really cared if you were gay. Oh, was there oppression and they faced discrimination? Yeah, in the past, sure. But by the 90s, I think we're all like, yeah, okay, go do your thing. Uh, okay, fine, have a gay pride parade, fine. No one's gonna stop you. All right, that's okay. Yeah, you start messing with the kids. Hang on now, and that reflects poorly on regular old, upstanding citizen Americans who just happen to not be straight. And then in other words, the fringe. You're talking the not straight community is a fringe element unto itself. It's statistically speaking, yeah, I guess you're right. But there's a fringe element within the gay community that's way to fuck off the reservation. And I would say a lot of times they're not even gay or not straight. They're 100% straight. They're just faking it. Heck, there's some I remember was there an article written by a young gal, she was trans and younger gal, and she was saying she's sick and tired of young people what is it? 1 in 5 Zoomers claim they're not straight. Get the fuck out of here. You're just an attention whore. And you're an attention whore now, but if you kept down that road, there's going to be some fucked up shit happening in your mind later on. And so this reflects negatively and poorly upon different groups of people, whichever one it is that you have the posers, the fraudulent within those groups doing the zany, ridiculous behavior that has the rest of the people like, whoa, hang on, give me your pearl purse, lady. I'm going to clutch it too. So does it what you're claiming happened, like the conservative religious right, like, oh my God, the degeneracy, Beauregard, fetch me my fainting couch. Yeah, but you were a sorority girl 15, 20 years ago. Your marriage was never good. The kid isn't the dad's, but the other one is, but you're hoping that secret don't get out. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you could kind of see it where, okay, if there's a conservative traditional, this is why some of my real life Christian dating videos do very well. It's because here you have these traditional Christian men. They want to go and find a girl, and then you find out the hypocrisy. Like these girls are not godly, is the word. They don't follow the thing. They don't. They're like the redhead idiot that, oh my God, I found Jesus, which she's just the latest of one of millions. Yeah. Where are the kids? Why aren't you sitting down having a brood of children? What is it? Oh, you're a Christian girl. You're traditional. You're conservative. but you need your shoes, and you didn't what you waited till whatever you're 35 to get married, and then you had some kids that were too late. You had some dusty eggs, and they got medical issues. Well, you're right. There's a hypocrisy there, and I would say based on numbers, yeah, that's much more important to the future of the country, especially in terms of birth rate. And are you going to have nuclear stable raised kids? Oh, my criticisms of, at least in the United States, because it's Christian nation at one time. Yeah, I'm highly critical of most Christians because most Christians aren't Christians; they're hypocrites. So that would be a much more legitimate criticism where focus should be put. But I, aside from a handful, a few, I don't think they're using the fringe elements of the not straight community to mask their degenerate behavior. I don't think I think it's actually like, what do you mean? Uh the story time with kids. No, what do you mean the school can take my kid away from me? What are you talking about? That's the shit that rightly concerns the pearl clutchers, as it should everybody else. And so, I mean, you're right, but I think the main concern are these fake posers within many groups, not just the not straight community. That is concerning everyone because ultimately their goal is late. They want to steal in some way or another. They want to steal attention. They want to steal lower employment standards. They want to steal outright disability. They want preferential treat. They want to steal. And like cowards, they hide behind a trait they may or may not have, thereby also ruining the reputation of everybody else with that trait. And so I think that I hope that kind of answers your question. Um, 90-second clip, ba 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 ba. There you go. Yeah, that's it. So link below. I go into this in great detail in my book, How Not to Become a Millennial. And I talk about it where what was it? Your skin color has no value, your gender has no value, your sexual preference has no value. Like within one chapter, I think the title's called "You Have No Value." And I go through it. And this was right when it was cool and edgy to start. Oh my God, man, I'm pansexual. I'm Bulbasaur sexual. I'm Pikachu sexual. Oh my God, I'm so edgy, teehee. And now people are like, oh, well, don't ever criticize. Bullshit, criticize. Get the fuck out of here. Remember Lacey Green? And then she got dick down, and then she's like, oh, okay, I'm really straight. Never mind. Teehee. Tee, it was just a phase. Teehee. Hand clogs, $2. Love is love, Cappy. You just need to relax and chill. I'm not everyone go do your thing. I'm not get all the rights afforded to Americans. Do it. Should not be treated any differently. Just don't like, oh my God, I'm so oppressed. Shut the fuck up. Hand clogs, $2. Well, Cappy, we don't judge, but $20 is $20, Cappy. Yep, $20 is $20. How do you think I afforded the house? Drew, $2. Not watching the news improve my mental health. Yep, it certainly does. And Drew again for $2. My gay friends hate the current LGBTQ movement. Well, see, and even that's unfair to the movement unto itself. Like within the LGBTQ movement, there are no doubt people who are sane and reasonable and want equal treatment under the law. They don't have. They're against. There's Gays Against Groomers. There's a group there if you want to follow them. Yeah, but even they're in a compromised position because I'd say if you're an activist, oh yeah, the unifying factor is you're a leftist and you're a lazy sack of shit. It's just which shield are they grabbing? Which trait are they grabbing to have when anytime legitimate and constructive criticism goes against them, that they use it like, oh, you hate black people. Oh, you hate women. It's like, no, we hate parasites. And you are one. Stop hiding behind that bullshit shield. So I could see where yeah, your regular, authentic gay friends are like, I hate that political movement because it's long left it and has gone for basically leftist politics. But that's the difference between anyone who is authentic versus a fraud. Ross the Skunk, $5 for favorite short old man yelling at the clouds on the front porch eating peaches. For your information, I'm older than you. Well, then you got to be really pissed off. You all don't know this there, but Ross the Skunk, if he's older than me, he has to yell at the clouds more. Each year your quota goes up. You got to file it with the Department of Yelling. All right, there you go. Link below. How not to become a millennial. Good book for you younger people out there. Like, well, maybe I am. No, you'd know. Just go read that book. You're just a bored little kid who had way too much government money given to you, or mom and dad didn't like spank you or something. That's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.